Astrid and Miyu, I believe is how you pronounce it. They are a jewelry brand and they sell like very pricey. So they sell a lot of like proper jewelry pieces, like, you know, $500 to $2,500 rings, like not super precious, but you know, still pretty strong for an e-com based store and a lesser known brand. It definitely looks different online than it does in person. Online, they like hyper saturated the color, but it like
a lot of it.
Yeah, it looks like, I would say it looks a lot nicer online than it does in person. In person, you can see some like imperfections in like how they printed the paper that's on the outside of it. And it just feels like, I mean, it's still pretty, it's debossed, it's got pretty holographic elements.
And let me be that guy, this was very expensive. This was lower fives is what it cost.
So yeah, pricey is the context on this one. Inside is pretty. Again, it's like very much papery, cardboardy. It doesn't feel like super luxe. This is actually like the base of it is kind of like bendy. It just feels, a little cheaper than I expected for something that was so pricey. But there are 12 little days of jewelry in here. You've got these little like suede-esque pouches. Let's see what we got in here. So this is interesting. That is a singular earring, which is probably a cuff. So like you might be able to see, but I have one ear pierced up here. So they are probably selling it online as singles or as a cuff, but it is kind of interesting that you get just one. I'll open another day and we can take a look. But all of them are wrapped in paper with, there's silicone. Oh, this is another singular cuff.
Okay, outside looking in, if I would have purchased,
so teeny.
I think there's a lot of opportunities to grow with this advent box, because that, like I said, this was real money that was spent on this, and I'm not super blown away yet. And I think the presentation is.
Oh, there's a pair of earrings at least. These are really pretty.
Oh, those are gorgeous.
And they're kind of heavy. Those are really pretty.
That's okay. Maybe
there's some winners in here. But I will say overall, for something that costs over $500, selling a couple singular cuffs, or putting a couple singular cuffs in there, is an interesting choice. I'm left with more questions than answers on this one.
Yeah.
Particularly like, what do I do with my gold coin? How do I put that earring in my ear? And why did we pay $500 for it?
In terms of presentation score, what would you give the Astrid Miyu?
5.
Yeah, that's fair. Value score?
I would have to say 5.
Yeah.
And just kind of give this one an overall just.
There's some opportunities to grow.
Yeah, opportunities to grow. It's not horrible, of course not. And it's not life-changing. So a solid middle of the road 5 for me.